Predecessors have left us a legacy rich in its own right with the core ideas for us to advance our profession. How futuristic they were, and yet so much time has gone by and so little has been done. I mentioned earlier that the Society of Actuaries is the world's largest organization of actuaries. We are well known and respected. We do have the resources to make a difference. And I believe the time has come for the Society of Actuaries to be more proactive, to make change happen, and to create the actuary of the future, or the actuary of the future will be invented by others. So it is with this in mind that I propose the following ideas for constructive change. First, the Society of Actuaries needs to take a leadership role both in North America and in worldwide actuarial affairs. I urge our new international section to address ways to most effectively accomplish this. Next, we need to revisit the college credit experiment or other alternative qualification methods. Actuaries are properly concerned about equity of examination results. Clearly, before going forward, it is necessary to convince our members of the advantages of further strengthening the actuarial profession's relations with universities. The use of college credit could also result in a reduction in the time it takes to become an actuary or a replacement of subjects. Third, we should continue to modify and improve our syllabus of examinations to enable our members and potential members to operate both on this continent, which includes Mexico, and in a world rapidly changing due to increased globalization. Fourth, we must broaden our base, which historically has been life insurance. Although the Casualty Actuarial Society does an excellent job in developing specialists, the Society of Actuaries needs to develop generalists with basic training in all lines of insurance and investments. Specialization can then occur at the fellowship level. And finally, we need to better equip our members to operate in this rapidly changing world. Specifically, we should support the recommendations of the Task Force on strengthening the educational level for associateship so that it is parallel to the 7 exam level required by the Casualty Actuarial Society. That is, from 200 credits to 300 credits. We should revise our associateship syllabus to include basic education in life, health, pensions, investments, and casualty. The end result would provide the all lines basic actuarial training our profession and our members need. An increase in casualty material could be easily accomplished by giving credit directly for appropriate Casualty Actuarial Society exams. We should also grant full credit for all other casualty actuarial exams as electives. If it is not easy for an associate of the Society of Actuaries to become a fellow of the Casualty Actuarial Society, we might eventually consider adding a casualty specialty track to our fellowship examinations. This would further broaden our base and would help remove the actuarial wall that now exists in North America. We should offer associateship status to all fellows of the Casualty Actuarial Society. This is consistent with what we currently do for fellows by examination of the actuarial professions in the United Kingdom, Scotland, Australia, and New Zealand. Now, these things will not be easily accomplished. Creating constructive change is difficult, but it is the key to our future. We stand to risk much in maintaining the status quo. I hope my thoughts today will prove helpful to the greatest profession in the world. I want to again thank you for the honor of electing me to this office. It has given me the opportunity to travel widely and to make additional actuarial friends. We all know that actuaries are the best people in the world. Like Will Rogers, I never met an actuary I didn't like. Let me give special thanks to James G. Bruce for his guidance at Hartford Life, where I spent 26 of my 36-year career as an actuary. I have been privileged to work with your Board of Governors and many dedicated and hardworking committee members. John O'Connor, our Executive Director, and his fine staff are a tremendous resource. They do make a difference. Walt Rugland, my successor, has been a friend of mine since our early days at Connecticut General and will do an excellent job next year. The profession is in good hands. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite the incoming president, Walt Rugland, to the podium. It is with great pleasure that I do a couple things up here. The first one is to try to not lose my hair in taking off this badge of office. But this badge of office is transferred at this time to our incoming president. The good news, Walt has nothing to worry about. It's also my pleasure to also pass the gavel to our incoming president.
Well, thanks, Don. On behalf of all of us, I want to thank you for those words from your heart. You know, Don mentioned that he and I were at Connecticut General. About the time I was there 1 year, coming fresh out of Michigan, I walked over 20 feet from my desk and said, "Don, there's not room here for two of us," and the next day he quit. History. I'd like to invite Daphne Bartlett to come up to the podium, please. Daphne, as you know, is our past president, 1 year removed. Daphne.
Thank you very much. It was my privilege a year ago to pass the gavel over to Don, and it's now my pleasure on behalf of all of you to present him with some gifts in appreciation for his service as our president during the last year. Before I do that, I would like to invite Mary Sondergeld, Don's wife, up to the podium. Mary. Near Don. Don has served the society courageously and well during the past year. He's one of the nicest people I know, and he has the best sense of humor. You might say that he has the warmth of George Bush, the wit of Ross Perot, and the hair of Bill Clinton. Our first gift is a photo of the president, a presidential portrait, which has been hanging in the Society office. Don, you'll receive the original soon, and I know it'll hold a position of honor in your home in Vermont. Thank you. To remind you of your well-disciplined board, Don, the society staff would like to give you this crystal gavel. This is beautiful. I have one of these. You have to get this right. The portrait was from everybody. The gavel is from the staff, and from the Board of Governors, that disciplined Board of Governors, we give Don a replica of the badge of office. And now Mary. Mary is one also. She's a lovely person. Her warmth and her enthusiasm and her genuine love of life has endeared her to everyone who's been associated with her during the past year. Mary, we love you, and this is for you.
Thank you. I want to thank you all. It has been an exquisite year, and I've loved meeting all the actuaries and all their families, and we've loved it a great deal. Thank you very much.
See what I mean? Don and Mary, our most sincere thanks and best wishes to both of you. Thank you.
I do appreciate these gifts, but the thing I really appreciate is, I really appreciate these gifts, but the thing I really appreciate is being able to work with all the fine people in the society office and the elected members to the board. And the only disappointment was I had, one of the requests I had was a dozen pieces of broccoli. And I was told that it's very difficult to get broccoli in Washington.
Thank you. Thanks again, Don and Mary. Well, I'd like to introduce you to my wife, Amelia. Millie, you're there somewhere. Will you stand up? Thank you. I want you to know that I take great pride in being an actuary. It's an honorable and respected profession, and I'd like to tell you why I think so. First of all, we have the public trust and stand accountable for the quality of our work. And we are a profession because of the way we apply our research and practice, because we practice in a way that the people who use our work can rely on our results, and because we attest that we are qualified to do the work we do, and because we are able to discipline ourselves. I am proud to have grown up the son of an actuary. I know I share this with only a few of you. It's a privilege, and to this I attribute my sense of heritage and tradition. Anticipating this day made my dad very proud. So I'm proud of our profession's unique history, and it's recorded so well, you know, in Jack Moorhead's book, Our Yesterdays, and in our shelves of literature. I stand in awe visiting Staple Inn in London, the home of the Institute of Actuaries, which to me represents our strong tradition that has moved throughout the world. I recommend that you put a visit to Staple Inn on your itinerary. I'm also proud to be able to serve our profession. 20 years ago, I was asked to join the Academy of Actuaries board as secretary. I've seen where we were then, and as I said last year when I assumed the role of president-elect, I am proud of the coming of age of the Society of Actuaries and our profession. I believe much is implied with the profession's coming of age. It must include new responsibilities and a new way of doing things, and it certainly means new horizons and new opportunities. But it's not enough just to talk about the opportunities that a coming of age brings. I believe it is a signal for profession to move forward with deliberate action and to focus on what it can do rather than to reflect on what it has done and even what it is doing now. We are poised today to write new chapters in our history book. We all can contribute to that history as we will move forward in an expanded vision of our profession. I call on you all to join me. Don talked about the need for constructive change, and I agree with that. How? We can't change if we restrict ourselves to patterns that have their roots in yesterday. Let me give you some examples. As early as the mid-1980s, the actuary of the Future Task Force of the Society and the Society's Planning Committee noted some trends that they believed could lead to diminished value of the work of actuaries. They warned us then of several trends. Trend 1, intrusion and preemption by regulators and other appointed observers into the realm of the professional judgment of actuaries. Trend 2, actuarial functions in large insurers being decentralized by business lines and reduced in overall scope. They said the actuary of the future would be hard, the chief actuary would be hard to find. Trend 3, defined benefit retirement plans were disappearing as self-styled non-risk experts influence employer benefit decisions. Trend 4, non-actuaries with computers performing many technical actuarial functions would do that work not knowing the basis of their work. And Trend 5, asset management strategies would be overshadowing the old risks of mortality and morbidity. But the worst observed trend of all at that time was that of the profession itself. We appeared more and more to be looking inward and allowing others to define our future. I'm sure you can think of your own examples. Today, the fallout of some of these trends is here in full force. We have vast pension plan defined benefit terminations, insolvencies of insurers, a lack of public confidence in the traditional constituencies we serve, and for the first time, more actuaries than there are jobs. This is not new news. The profession in North America recognized early aspects of these trends, as I told you, and took giant strides to bolster our position. Now it is time to enhance the scope of our professional work. We've built a strong base. Actuaries today are ready to serve at the heart of strengthening North America's financial systems. Let me list some recent accomplishments. We have a legal sanction for the integrity of our employee benefit plan assumptions. We have standards of practice through the Actuarial Standards Board and the Canadian Institute of Actuaries. We have a discipline process in place through the Actuarial Board for Counseling and Discipline and the CIA in Canada. We have qualification processes in place promulgated by the Academy of Actuaries and the CIA. And we have established a meaningful insurer evaluation role as appointed actuary and recognition of the actuarial role in analysis of insurers' investment risk and economic health. These major developments, all within the last half-decade, enable us with our unique set of skills to open doors forcefully and say, ask us, ask actuaries to be a part of your problem analysis and solution. 21st century actuaries will have to apply these skills more broadly. We need to begin the job. Remember, there is no such job as actuary, but being an actuary gives us many unique skills and enables us to do a lot of problem solving. The society needs to take the lead to market actuaries, convincing current and potential clients and employers that our members have the skills to solve problems of the future. And when I say society, I mean us. Now I want to disclose a motivator in my seeking the presidency of the society. The Society of Actuaries' current motto is, "The work of science is to substitute facts for appearances and demonstrations for impressions." This statement, chosen in Victorian times, 100 years ago this year, comes from Ruskin in the Roman Renaissance chapter in the stones of Venice and is taken entirely out of context. I have to question in this day of fuzzy sets, chaos theory, and model building whether it is relevant to our profession. It perpetuates a thought process that doesn't fit. It doesn't project us into the future. In fact, I think it limits our opportunities. I believe the time has come to consider a new motto for the 21st century, and I have asked the staff to structure a contest to find one. So get your entries ready. As I've said, I'm very proud to be an actuary, but that pride is not without its frustrations. As I move about our constituent clientele and I look at the research on our profession's image, one characteristic is much too prevalent, and it hurts us. It causes our clients and employers to question our value. We come across as being above the fray, too good to wrestle with the real issue, quick to criticize, too busy to help. Our best friends tell us we are cynical. Yet they respect us. They really want us to get into the solution and help. Now, present company may be individually excluded, but this is a corporate historical image. We all share the fallout, and I, for one, have never liked it. We in the Society of Actuaries need to work together to break out of this adverse image and to convince people to look beyond the stereotypes and consider our skills and the value we can contribute. We must let our employers and clients know that we are scientists, managers, and consultants with a strong quantitative base of knowledge and problem-solving skills, ready to be used in many ways. That we as actuaries can provide expert, relevant solutions to any financial and business issue, especially those requiring analysis of uncertain future events. An actuary is uniquely qualified to measure, model, and communicate the implications of future contingent events. We've changed our mission statement to articulate this, and I like it. Enhancing our image, however, is not a job that your leaders can do alone. It's a mindset issue. We, the entire membership, must do it together. It won't be easy and it won't be quick, but it's a movement that we can start now. We all have to believe in two things. One, that our profession will be of more value to people tomorrow than it is today. And two, that every one of us has a personal responsibility to make it so in how we work and how we act. Tonight, remember, there will be students bent over books and study notes, giving up time with family and friends to become actuaries. Let it be our cause to give them a meaningful and secure profession. It is our common duty to initiate change now, to ensure their future in this profession, and to allow it to continue to reward us. This means, first, we must become a part of solutions that allow us to apply our skills. And then we must see universality in the application of our expertise. I want to share my vision. I see a day in the 21st century that whenever a business or government decision maker has a question about risk, her or his first thought will be, ask an actuary. Ask an actuary. I'd like you to share that vision today by joining me in wearing buttons. Ask an Actuary buttons are available at the doors and the registration desk. I'm supposed to have one here, but I don't. My fault. Somebody said, "Are you nervous?" And I said, "No, I'm not nervous." Seriously, we have buttons. I want you to use them, to take them, wear them. Now why? Take a few, wear them home, on the street, to your work meetings. Get your family and friends to wear them. These buttons are guaranteed to give you the opportunity to explain that you can be a part of a solution process. To wear this badge of office as President of the Society of Actuaries is a distinct privilege. I take it with great honor. And as we move into the new program year, I want to thank you in advance for your confidence, for your enthusiasm and your support. And now, get set for a great ride. And thank you. I declare this session adjourned. I'm going to declare this session adjourned. Thank you.